Greetings, welcome to Flavourful Eats. Today we have a very interesting demonstration. We have it in two parts, part 1 and part 2, focusing on for diabetics, but this is a healthy meal for everybody to enjoy. But just to let you know that diabetics will definitely benefit from these foods. We're starting off with breakfast this morning, and joining me today is a specialist in Ayurveda medicine, and that is Pratibha Shah, and and with her is her daughter Llina Shah. Welcome to Flavourful Eats, and we're ready to start. If you can start us, Pratibha, with what you're doing this morning.
Right.
Oh, sorry, today.
Thank you, Hamsha. I'm really looking forward to this segment today because it's not only about delicious food, it's also about focusing a little bit on diabetes specifically, and also on health a little bit besides the taste. And I'm so glad that we are going to be able to blend health as well as nutrition into our segment today. So I'm going to be speaking as we talk. We are going to start with the Fenugreek bolus, which is an amazing herb for diabetes, and this is how it looks raw. And we soak it overnight so that it's soft and it can be turned into a ball.
And also when you soak it, it livens it up. It adds more nutrients to it.
So if you soak it for more than 12 hours, it's called fenugreek sprout, which is also recommended, because it's more nutritious than just the raw one. So you can have fenugreek in many ways. You can either powder it and have it just like a powder with warm water, or you can convert it into a ball, soft ball, which we'll be demonstrating right now. You can use a coffee grinder or NutriBullet, something that's small.
I think NutriBullet would be a better one than coffee grinder.
Right.
I think the coffee grinder is for drying.
Right. We are trying to make do with what we have.
I hope it works.
Okay. So, we're going to try and do what best we can, but looks like this is not drying it very well. But I think our viewers are getting a sense of what we are trying to do here. At this stage, actually, you can chew it and you can swallow it with water. So
and it will be soft now anyway, so even if you didn't get it to a really, really soft pulpery state, this will work.
Exactly.
But generally you would like it to a really soft pulp.
Bolus. So there are many ways, as I said. You can have it as a powder, you can chew on it along with the water in which it is soaked, or you can convert it into a bolus in a more appropriate tool, maybe. So I think what I want to make highlight at this point is that there are 7 steps that I recommend a diabetic looks at or bears in mind, because there's so much information going around diabetic food that if you can increase the protein and the fiber content of your food, reduce the carbs, which are mostly the simple carbs, and add nutrition. We'll see throughout the segment how we are sneaking in more nutrition in the usual foods that we eat, increasing the digestive capability of the foods, so the energy of the food, with the spices and the condiments, and making sure you have everything warm. Warm foods are more recommended, and then avoiding heavy foods like cream and milk-based products like too much cheese and condensed milk and such products. So if you can remember these 7 points, which I will try and recapture, through the next recipes that we show. But this is what we are going to be talking about. So this is what you start your day with. Empty stomach.
On an empty stomach.
That's the first thing that should go, because then it's more effective. And we'll be segueing into the next dishes.
So now we're doing the cookies. Everybody's favorite, right?
Yeah.
And can you believe this is good for diabetics?
Yeah.
Yes. So you want to point out our different ingredients for our date and oat cookies?
This is a ½ cup of cashew butter, and you can use any nut butter that you want, or if you're allergic to nuts, you can also use a seed butter. We've just always used cashew. This is 1 cup of rolled oats, and we're going to grind that into an oat flour. This is a ½ teaspoon of baking soda and 2 tablespoons of flaxseed meal. That's just ground flax seeds. And this is a cup of packed dates soaked in a ½ cup of milk. And that's just to soften the dates a little bit, and the milk is something we're going to be using later on as well.
So you're starting the process right now, right? So you're making, so if somebody doesn't have, just want to use oat flour, you think that's okay?
Yeah, you just need about 1 cup, and you can make it gluten-free if you use gluten-free oat flour.
Yes, you have to read on the, not all oats is gluten-free. You've got to read it.
Here.
There you go.
Okay, and that should be enough. It should just be like a floury consistency, kind of like this. And now we're going to add the other dry ingredients, which are the baking soda and the flaxseed meal.
And the thing about oats with diabetics is good to use whole grain. So oats falls into that category.
Yeah, you can use quick oats as well, but rolled oats are the best for this.
Are the most unprocessed?
Yeah.
You know, high in fiber.
You're just going to pulse it a few times.
I think that's good.
And now we're going to add the dates. And like I said, you can soak the dates in a little bit of milk. Here. Just to get it nice and soft so that they're not incredibly dry. But we're going to use that milk later on in any case. And now you can just pour the dates in. And
the dates actually is adding sugar to the healthy sugar, natural sugar, so
and
your body will absorb it better.
The dates also have other micronutrients.
Yes, very good in iron, and you'd know more about that than me, right?
So this can be a little tricky with just like a regular food processor. Okay, and once it's just at least a little bit broken down, then you can add your wet ingredients, which is the milk. You can just pour it in.
So how much of milk did you add to that date?
I added at 1/2 cup, but you can vary it depending on the wetness that you need.
Right.
And this is the 1/2 cup of nut butter. And again, we usually just like using cashew butter because we just find it tastes better. And at this stage, you can also add other flavorings like vanilla extract, cinnamon, whatever you want.
So if somebody's allergic to nuts, so they could use sunflower butter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is also moist, so it's going to help with the blending.
And also,
process.
instead of butter, you're using irregular butter, or you're using
exactly. So it's no oil added as well.
Oil from the butter, from the nuts.
Yeah. And you can just mix it a little with a spoon if you need to. And then just one final time we can pulse this, and then it'll be ready to shape into cookies.
And we use it as not only sometimes, you know, snacks, but also as a dessert.
Yes, you could definitely use it as a dessert.
Yep, and that should be it. And the way that I shape it, you can actually freeze it if you need it more firm. And you can roll it out like in a traditional cookie dough type of thing. But what I normally like to do is just take a bowl of water and...
A bowl of water right there?
Oh, yeah. And then I just like to dip my hands in it and then just scoop the dough out with my hands. And you can just do however much you want, but just try and as evenly as possible.
So try to get the same. I would maybe use a teaspoon, wet my teaspoon to
Yeah,
just get the right quantity.
exactly. You can do that. I like to use my hands because I find it easiest, but this is pretty much what you do. And it doesn't have to be a really perfect shape, but
that's what homemade cookies are, right?
Exactly.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Artisanal. So
and that's it. That's all you do.
So while Llina goes around finishing her cookies, Mom will be making her chutney. Llina, good job on the cookies. It's ready for the oven. So I have the oven preheated to 350. That's a moderate oven. And we're going to put it like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'll get the oven door for you. So while Llina is getting the seeing to the cookies, Pratibha is doing her green chutney.
Absolutely.
You want to get started with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
So for that, we're using a Vitamix.
Yes, we're going to use a Vitamix because then it blends very well. Chutney, we need to have a good fine consistency. And the ingredients that we have today, and these are very modifiable, but we are going to use 2 cups of green onion, scallion, and a cup of cilantro. Some amla. Amla is one of the richest sources of vitamin C. So, as I said, we are going to try and sneak in more nutrition in every dish, you know.
And so those who don't know what amla is, it's a little like a gooseberry.
Yes,
it's like a berry.
amla is gooseberry. So, as you can see, it is available frozen because it grows only in tropical climate. So, we don't find it fresh here. But I have left it overnight, I mean a couple hours outside, so it's already thawed. Otherwise, it can be thawed in a little bit of warm water.
Right.
And we have a green chili. I mean, we Indians are very, you know, these spices are our favorite. We want to include that in everything.
And it also helps metabolize.
Exactly. And as I mentioned in the beginning that, you know, we would like to have spices and condiments that increase your metabolism.
Right. So that you can start putting the ingredients one by one. So
So we have
fresh turmeric.
We have the fresh turmeric. I mean, this is how it looks when it is you know, unpeeled, and this is a peeled piece, and this is not there on the recipe, but you know, we found it, so we are going to try and include it.
This particular one is organic, so which means you can actually put the peel in with it. So
that's true. Yeah, that's true. It's
but if you've got
harmless.
one that's not organic, so please peel that because we don't know what pesticide. And then I don't know whether you spoke about the ginger.
Ginger is the last ingredient that we have, and we're going to put a very small piece of it. And again the logic behind that is that we want to have a little bit of spice for the metabolism.
And also it gives some heat, and it helps digest food very easily, right?
Easily,
it's a better, helps to digestion.
So this is, you know, roughly 2 cups.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Yeah, it is
the total is almost roughly 2 cups, and we had only a bunch of scallions, and we're going to use some cilantro after this.
So both the ginger and the turmeric are both root.
Yeah, and
so they come from the ground. So that's why I actually try to opt for organic one as much as possible.
Absolutely. I mean, we for American foods, we have the list of dirty dozen, you know, that we use, and the clean 15. So you can be smart in your organic produce purchase. So the ginger is you know, good overall. It's good for your respiratory system. It's good for your metabolism. You know, it keeps your digestion to an optimal level. And the turmeric is a potent anti-inflammatory.
Yes,
and you know, that is the pathway to most of the illnesses. So we, you know, like to address the inflammation as much as we can in
so do you need
making
to chop
our
this
foods.
up too?
Yeah.
You're
So I'm just being very hands-on with this, and I'm just breaking it into slices. So as you see that we have taken 3 gooseberries, and you can play around with the number of gooseberries that you use.
No, I think you had a better way to do it.
So let's see, it's still a little frozen. So there you go. So you have to de-seed it because there is a sizable seed inside which does not grind.
So you mess up your blade.
Exactly. So that's all we need.
Right, there you go. There's your third one.
And you're going to add a little salt, and you can add it while grinding.
So like a pinch of salt, quarter teaspoon.
Yeah. So just a 1/4 teaspoon maybe.
And it's a no cooking thing, so it's so much so easy for the.
Absolutely. So just a little bit of water, and then
do you want to use the? There we go.
So it's nice and fine, and
amla is spelled AMLA. If anybody wants to go and look it up,
that's correct. So this is how the chutney looks like.
Llina, this cookie smells delicious. You want to go check it out? I think it's ready. If you can take it out, please. And while she's taking out the cookies, do you want some help?
Sure.
Okay, let me just get it out.
Yep.
And Mom will be making her little protein pancakes like we spoke about.
Absolutely.
So these are the cookies that were just made. It's delicious. So I leave it to you to now pack it. Okay.
Yeah, so this is how it looks like.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So now Mom will be doing her very nutritious protein pancakes.
Absolutely. So these are the ingredients. These are some of the lentils, and we were just having a discussion in the intermission in between that you know, these are such great sources of proteins,
right?
Especially for people who do not use animal products.
Yes. So very high protein. Yes.
Right. So you can use a mix of several lentils. What I have decided to use here are mung peels. Again, there's no skin, deskinned. This is another mung lentil. This is whole. I did not have the split ones, so you can use them. This is chana dal, and this is
chana is split gram.
Gram, yeah. And this is pink lentil or masoor.
And chickpea, sorry, the split gram with chickpeas.
Yeah, so there are different names to this. It goes by chickpea, split chickpea dal, as well as chana dal, yeah. And this is the heavier dal, lentil, and these are lighter ones. So mung dal, I'll talk a little more about them as we start making the pancake, but I like to really use ghee, and I'll talk a little bit more about ghee. This is sesame oil. These are the options of fats. These are the two options that we can use. This is a coconut oil spray, and this is a very good company, non-GMO. So we're going to start by spraying some coconut.
First of all, before you end, the process of doing that is did you have to soak the dals before?
So I'm going to just.
So you soak the dals and then put it together, and you put it into a food processor, and you made it into a little batter. Just like you would do a little pancake batter.
Right. So
more like a crepe than a pancake, which is a little thinner than a pancake batter.
Yeah. So you can have different consistencies. You can have a thicker consistency than this also. So you know, your pancake will be of different thickness depending on the batter consistency.
Right.
So we can start with one ladle of pancake batter, and we are using a different kind of oven here, or
stove. We're using induction stove.
So you know, we're going to make a couple attempts and see how it comes out, but this is how you spread it out neatly. And now I'm going to talk about the process as this is cooking. So you can choose the lentil of your choice, and you can use 2, 3, 4, 5, as many as you want. You basically soak them overnight. These two would require more hours, so I would say overnight. And these two are soft lentils, so they soak and get soft very easily. So just 2, 3 hours are enough for this. So basically in Ayurveda we try to recommend more use of the mung lentil because it's considered very easy on your system.
Digestion as well as to fight pains and stuff. That's very
it's
good
very
too,
nutritious.
Right?
And it's very gentle on your system. It's processed very easily.
Right.
So this comes in 3 varieties. You can see the whole variety here. It can come in split. It can come in deskinned. And now we are going to.
If you use the skin, you actually get more fiber.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why, you know, I like using this. So now we are going to turn the pancake, and you know it's browning a little bit.
Yeah, it's always when we at home we have the gas stove, and so we're used to that. So now it's taking a little longer.
I have to figure out how long this takes.
So we're going to be making our tea while that is cooking.
Yes.
So the different ingredients for the tea are?
We are going to, you know, I'm going to introduce you to a very simple herbal tea, which is considered anabolic, vitality increasing, rejuvenating, and also a mild detoxing agent. And this is a simple blend of 3 fruits, and that's why it's called triphala. So triphala means 3 fruits, and we are talking about one of them we already saw was the gooseberry. So we have a powder of the gooseberry, and we have vibhitiki, which is another fruit, and we have haritaki, which is another fruit. So these 3, when blended together, they are called triphala, and you can see in the little bowl here. This is tea of choice for diabetics because it brings down the insulin resistance, and it improves the sugar levels in the body. So, and it also aids the metabolism, and it's you know, it increases the energy. So you basically bring 1.5 cups of water to a boil or near boil, and then you quickly stir in these 3 herbs.
So you want me to stir while you get?
Yeah. Once it comes to a boil, I think we want to simmer it for 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay.
And then we will use a muslin cloth to sieve it through.
Or a tea strainer like we did here, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, our tea is ready. Do you want to tell us where we can get this product while you're straining it? You're using a muslin cloth over a tea strainer only because you want the fine sediments to get out.
Because this can have fine segments. So if you can just hold the muslin cloth slightly.
There we go.
So I'm just decanting the clear liquid from the top so that you're not getting most of the sediments anyway.
Right.
Okay, so let us wait for that to strain through. I just want to tell you quickly about triphala. I usually put my triphala together myself, you know, in the proportions that I want. But triphala is a very common preparation which is available even in Indian stores, in health food stores, Whole Foods, GNC and vitamin stores, or you can buy it online. So as you see, I have got everything organic, and I put together my own custom blends for family and patients.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is a must for every diabetic because this is a big diabetes friend, and I highly recommend it. And you can have this tea anytime during the day.
Oh, so it doesn't have to be just for breakfast or lunch?
So I included it with the breakfast because you can have it like a in between tea period, between breakfast and lunch. That's a good time to introduce it. Now let's talk about our wonderful breakfast platter.
Yeah, you guys made
actually,
together.
Our Fenugreek ball is ready. So as you can see that you can make it into a ball like this, and you can just swallow it with a cup of water.
And Fenugreek seeds is also called methi seeds.
Methi, yeah.
And it's very much available in the Indian store.
Absolutely.
Almost everything here is
all
available.
All of the spices these days are actually available even
everywhere,
in the health food stores, but definitely the Indian store.
Yeah.
Positively.
The supermarkets have it too now.
Right, and online, So this is our ideal breakfast for not only a diabetic but also for anybody.
Right.
It's a high protein.
Healthy. I mean,
very
high protein.
There's absolutely no carb here. I mean, there is very minimal
but in the fiber.
And it's a complex carb, and then it's high in protein, and it's very filling, so you don't get hungry very quickly. And this, as we already talked about, is a blend of, it's a powerhouse of lot of vitamins and micronutrients. And we have ghee, and I wanted to quickly talk about ghee, as I will let Llina be our taster today. But the ghee is good saturated fat, very healthy saturated fat, And you know, this kind of fat is really good for your brain and for your skin health, for your heart health. It's very favorable, very positive, very helpful. So I definitely include ghee in my food, and I highly recommend everybody use it. It's a very good source.
Just need a little bit.
Very little, you know, so just for dips.
The whole thing now, you know, is hardly any calories.
Yes.
And of course, we also have our date and oat cookies. How can you not taste that?
So, you know, this can be used as a dessert or a snack, midday snack. Elena would.
And people like to have cookies and tea. And this is what our tea looks like. We're not going to wait for the whole process because it's taking a little long. But this is what our tea looks like.
So, Hamsha, I want you to taste it.
I normally don't drink tea, but I guess this is not quite tea.
It's not caffeinated, yeah.
Oh, definitely something I would enjoy.
Right, but isn't it invigorating immediately?
It actually changes the whole thing in your mouth for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Elena, how was the pancake?
It was amazing, very good.
Really?
Really
so
delicious.
with that, I need to tell you that, you know, Pratibha Shah, as we said, is a leading Ayurveda expert in New England area. Her pioneering initiatives in the field of Ayurveda has brought her to attention at the White House, the Department of Health and Human Services, as well as Consulate General of India, New York City. She is a prolific speaker and educator in the community. She has authored several papers and writes regularly for many e-magazines and journals. She is an editor with Ayurveda Journal on Health and associate editor with the Ancient Science Journal. She is a senior faculty with the Kerala Ayurveda Academy. Before moving to US in 2004, she was working as Chief Medical Officer with the central government in India in the Ministry of Indian System of Medicine, Ayush. Currently, she works as an Ayurveda consultant at Zanjabi Integrative Medicine and Primary Care. She is founder and director of the Council for Ayurvedic Research and Holistic Health. Thank you very much for joining me today. And this is Pratibha Shah. And then we have Llina Shah, who is her daughter, also a very, very budding young lady with lots of some unusual interests and passion besides getting top grades in all subjects throughout her school year. She is very talented in several areas. She is a gifted writer and has won several awards in competition. She is also a fabulous painter, a musician, and she was awarded a GFK award to make a difference in our community not so long ago. Thank you both very, very much. Good luck with the school and everything else. And today's show was sponsored by Holistic Health Alliance.
Yeah, and we'll soon be doing the part 2.
Right. So enjoy. Welcome to our really healthy breakfast.